The other day, for the first time in my life, I sat behind the steering wheel of a Ferrari at only 20 years old. I've seen what it's like to be poor and to sleep in a basement, but I've also seen what it's like to be very affluent. Well, let me tell you that the people who say that money doesn't make happiness, they've got it all wrong. In this video, I want to share with you 7 multi-millionaire habits that you can copy today to build your own success. You see, a lot of people simply believe that success is all about luck or having the right connections. And I agree that sometimes people are gonna get lucky. Sometimes someone is going to be born in a very wealthy family. Maybe they will know the right people. That wasn't the case for me. So what is the key to success then? What's the one thing that will allow you to build a massively successful business and live a life of complete freedom and abundance? That's the sort of question that a lot of millionaires and a lot of successful people get asked in interviews. Are you ready to hear the answer? Nothing. That's the answer. I know it's not a sexy answer, and truthfully, it's probably not what you want to hear. But there isn't one single thing that is going to guarantee that you become a success. The truth is that there are no secrets kept from you. And if you don't believe me, well, look around you. Wealth and abundance are literally everywhere. All the buildings that you see around you when you go for a walk, somebody had to build them, right? Someone had to design them. Landlords rented to tenants. If you've never been to the affluent areas in your city or in your country, you would be completely amazed at how much abundance and how much wealth there is out there. And it's all yours to take. Now you may be wondering, okay, but how do I know if I will be successful one day? If you've watched some of my other videos, you might have heard me talk about the success equation. In my opinion, success is the result of hard work, because of course, if you don't work, then you will never get the results. But also, you need to use the right vehicle, meaning you need to find an opportunity that allows you to make 100K a year, 200K a year, even $1 million or $2 million or $5 or $10 million a year. For instance, most regular jobs, no matter how hard you work, no matter how much effort you put into your craft, they will never allow you to make millions of dollars. And then, you need timing. Unlike some people claim, especially on the internet and on social media, working hard by itself, it doesn't guarantee that you will become rich and successful. You could be working 12 hours a day making burgers at a fast food joint, but doing this alone, it will never make you a multi-millionaire. You have no leverage, and if you are paid per hour of your time, there are only so many hours that you can work in a given day, in a given week, or in a given month. And you can't be working 24/7, 365 days a year. And even if you could, that would be absolute hell. It wouldn't be a life. The truth is that while most successful people definitely worked hard to obtain the success that they have today, timing also plays a big part in the rise to success. However, if you persevere, you keep working hard at something, at a business for instance, and you listen to the feedback that you get as you take action, then you make iterations based on that feedback. At some point, you will be at the right place at the right time. I challenge you to stick to a good making money opportunity for 5 years straight, and I bet that by the end of that 5-year period, you will be making significantly more money than you currently are. So while some people prefer to spend their entire lives blaming other people, blaming the government, or simply saying that, oh, this person got lucky because they were born with wealthy parents, or thinking that, oh, this person succeeded because they have natural talent, well, those people, they never go anywhere. The thing that you have to keep in mind is that life doesn't care about your goals. Life doesn't actually care whether you succeed or not, or whether you get what you want or not. No one is coming to save you, so you need to roll up your sleeves, get to work, and make your own goddamn luck. And when you make it to the top, you'll smile when people tell you that, oh, you're so lucky, because deep down, you know what the hell it took. You know how many days you had to lock yourself in your room or in your office to work while everyone else was playing and having fun. You know how many nights you struggled to fall asleep because you were so stressed out, wondering if you were going to make it or not. When somebody becomes successful, it's like the rest of the world is looking at an iceberg. They only see the tip of the iceberg, but the rest is completely underwater. So with that said, the first habit that I can guarantee most multi-millionaires apply on a daily basis is to undergo physical training. Now I know you've heard time and time again, oh, you need to exercise, or oh, you need to eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. And while those recommendations are for your health, your physical health, there is one aspect of daily physical training which is not touched upon. The thing is that when you train your body to become stronger, you have to go through pain. Therefore, it makes your mind stronger as well, your character stronger as well. Even if you love your sport, let's face it, some days it's going to be very difficult to get you to do that workout. In fact, you would much rather stay at home and rest sometimes. But you know that if you break the streak, it's going to make you feel a bit bad about yourself, and you will not make as much progress. So you force yourself to go and to do that workout anyway. And when you're done, you feel so damn good because you conquered your mind. And if you can control your mind, then the whole world will be at your feet. Now, something else that multi-millionaires do is to constantly remind themselves of why they want the things that they want. I've heard from somebody who made over 100 millions that whenever he would get in a slump where he would be demotivated, unable to do the work and to move forward, it was always always because he had lost sight of his vision, of his goals. Now, I'm not saying that you should, as a part of your morning routine, repeat a bunch of affirmations or look at a vision board. If these things actually help you to get you to do the work, of course you can do them, it's fine. However, there is a much better way to go about things. Everyone tells you that you should visualize what you want and you will make it into a reality. But what if, for a brief instant, you could experience that dream life that you want? Wouldn't it be more motivating than simply repeating a bunch of affirmations or seeing pixels on a screen? Go to the most affluent areas in your city on the weekend. Buy a coffee at an expensive restaurant. Go to the Lamborghini dealership. You will see so much wealth and abundance around you. It's gonna be a shock if you are not used to it. Go to the Rolex store, see what they look like in reality. You can even request to try one on. When you enter a store like that, the sales rep are not going to come see you and say that you should leave the store because they think that you might not be able to afford it. In reality, they don't know if somebody can afford those things or not. They treat everyone as though they would be a potential customer, because they might be. However, if you want to try like a Rolex or something, you should be upfront with them and say that you're not looking to waste their time, that you're not looking to buy today. You just want to get a feel for what you want, and when the time is right, you will definitely come back and make that purchase. Now, it's good to have a vision, because if you don't know what you want, then you will not know what goals to set. However, having a vision is not enough. It's not going to come true on its own. You need to have a plan. Multi-millionaires have a lot of money. Everyone knows that. But they understand that there is something that will always be far more valuable than money. It's time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day or 7 days in a week. The way that you use the time at your disposal is going to determine where you end up in a few years from now. I look at every day like it's a new battle. Do you really think that the greatest army leaders, they just march their troops into battle without a strategy, without a plan? Of course not. They carefully study the battlefield and their enemies, and then they form a plan so that the soldiers, they know exactly what to do. And what generals and other army leaders understand is that having a strategy, it's a necessity, of course, but at the same time, life is very unpredictable. Everything could change in just an instant. That's why you need to have a plan, but you still need to be flexible and to have the ability to adapt to the situation at hand. Bend instead of breaking. Millionaires understand that tomorrow is actually one today, which is why they plan the next day, usually the night before. What I personally do, and it's truly being a game changer for me, is that I use my to-do list in my Notion template alongside with Google Calendar so that I know what to do and I know when I should do it. That way, when I get out of bed in the morning, I know exactly what I need to do. So I don't overthink, I don't procrastinate, I just go and do it. If you go to the gym regularly, you'll notice that the people who don't have a clue what they're doing, who don't have a plan, they usually look the same month after month, year after year, and they don't understand why they don't progress. And talking about the gym, you need to understand that multi-millionaires make a habit out of taking care of themselves. And no, I'm not just talking about exercising or getting 8 hours of sleep per night at the bare minimum, or going to get a massage or going to the spa. I'm talking about how they present themselves to the world. People will respond to the way that you present yourself, to the way that you carry yourself. If you dress sloppily, if you don't take care of your body odor, then what do you think other people are going to think? There's something called the halo effect. It's when people assume that attractive people have more qualities than they actually do. For instance, just because somebody is physically good looking, studies have shown that they were rated as more intelligent. And you have to know that the people who rated these attractive men and women, they only saw a picture of them, and so the rating was based on their looks only, nothing else. So while some people will be more gifted than others when it comes to physical appearance, we can't deny it, you can always do your best to make sure that you look clean and sharp. Multi-millionaires understand that image is crucially important, especially in the world of business. Now, it's great to be a high achiever and to work hard, but let's be real, you cannot be working hard all of the time. Working just for the sake of working, it actually doesn't make any sense. Now, I believe that if we don't work at all, then life would be sort of meaningless, it would feel tasteless, because we need to have challenges to grow. But at the same time, the opposite is true. If you work all of the time, you're not going to be very efficient when you're actually working, and chances are you will burn out very quickly. I used to think that rest days were pointless. To be honest, I thought they were a waste of time. And at the time, I subscribed to the hustle culture mentality, because I believed that if I outworked everybody, if I worked more than other people, then surely I would be more deserving of success. Well, let me tell you, it's not always true. Remember that in the success equation, hard work is only the first component. You also need to use the right vehicle, the right opportunity to make money, and to have good timing as well. When I started to take rest days, I immediately noticed that when I would get back to work the next day, my productivity would be significantly higher. This is why implementing deep downtime in your daily or your weekly routine, it can significantly boost your productivity, help you to make more money, and overall make you happier. I know that on social media you're often going to see quotes like, legends either wake up at 5 a.m. or they go to bed at that time. But that's just a whole bunch of BS. Some billionaires wake up at 8 a.m. Some multi-millionaires wake up at 10. What actually matters is not what time you get up or what time you go to bed, as long as you get enough sleep and you feel well rested, but rather it's what you do during the day, during the time that you're awake. There's plenty of people who get up at 5 a.m. and they work at a factory all day long, but as you can see, it doesn't mean that just because they work hard or just because they get up early that they will make a lot of money. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Now, something else that multi-millionaires do is to read books on specific topics. I'm sure that by now you've heard so many people tell you, you need to read books, you need to read books. However, a lot of people, from what I've seen, and myself included at some point, a lot of people fall for the trap of reading just for the sake of reading. Or worse, because they're afraid that if they don't read this book, then they won't know the secret to succeed. So they will never succeed. And in reality, what they're doing is that they are using books as a way to procrastinate. They trick themselves into believing they are being more productive, when in reality, they're consuming, not creating. And the more you produce, the more money you're going to make. The less you produce, the less money you will make. Also, you don't need to read the entire book. Most of the time, 95% of a book is already going to tell you stuff that you know, especially if it's a topic you know. But if you find the one thing that is going to help you to increase your sales dramatically in your business, then sure, it was worth reading the book. Only 5% of the concepts in the book can actually change your life. You probably already know the other 95%. If there's an entire chapter on a topic that you know pretty well, don't force yourself to read it just because it's there. Books are not these sacred things that you need to consume from start to finish. You can just look at the table of contents and read the chapters that will benefit you the most. That's the difference between reading for pleasure and reading to learn. Usually when you read for pleasure, you will read the entire book. However, when you're reading non-fiction to learn something, you don't actually need to read the entire thing. Now, we can't talk about life-changing habits without talking about the importance of social skills. I can confidently say that this one habit changed my life. Every other area of my life completely changed because of it. Business is all about people. If you want to make a lot of money, you either need to provide a lot of value to a few people, think Ferrari, or a little bit of value to a lot of people, think Toyota. Both these companies make billions of dollars in annual revenue, yet they don't serve the same type of customer. Either way, a buyer is always a person, a human being. So if you don't understand human psychology, what makes people tick, what makes somebody want something, it's going to be very difficult to sell your products or your services. So I genuinely believe that if you apply these 7 habits in your life, you can accomplish things that you never thought were possible. I can't even tell you how much this is changing my life. Now, if you're interested in starting your own online business, but you don't know where to start, I have recorded a free video in which I analyze every popular business model to figure out which one is the best to start for beginners. The link is in the description below. With that said, I am waiting for you on the other side.